Jay, you may be asking yourself, you talk about urban America and black, quote unquote, black community all the time on this channel. Well, what kind of credentials do you have, huh? Where are you from? Well, this is where I am from. I'm from Irvington, New Jersey. That's right. And there's been several mishaps. I mean, don't get it twisted. The violence has been perpetuated for well over 2 decades now. But in the past week, there have been several mishaps going on, so I wanted to do a video discussing my hometown. And I have two videos. Well, not videos, but I have two articles that I want to touch on in this video. This one involves a police-involved shooting that took place in the township. So let's check this out from CBS New York.
In New Jersey, 2 police officers injured in a shootout about a block from the Garden State Parkway.
The violence broke out about 11 this morning in Irvington, and we are just learning the gunman and another person are dead. Live with the latest, Meg.
Jesus.
Are dead. It happened on Myrtle Avenue near University Place. CBS 2's Meg Baker on the scene now, live with the latest, Meg.
Maurice and Natalie, we're here on Orton Parkway, just near Myrtle Avenue, and that is where sources say 2 police officers were shot with bullets by a 38-year-old suspect. It's still very much an ongoing scene behind us, and we spoke to witnesses. This is witness video of dozens of shots being fired at police.
That's a gunshot.
Jude Mema was driving with his 5-year-old daughter in the car when police told him to pull over and duck down.
That was a terrible scene today, I'll tell you that, kids. I didn't know how to hear that, but I have no choice.
That guy's not from Irving. Like, he's not. I don't know the that. I didn't no choice. Like, yo, he's clearly not American because all the Americans are gone from Irvington. All right, Irvington has been an immigrant town for a very long time. It's red zoned. And back in the late 80s, early 90s, actually, like, let's go mid to late 80s, it was primarily Jewish and Italian, but they dipped. And I mean, I say they dipped, it was like literally overnight, they bounced hard and they were replaced with ultimately the families that moved into the township after the Newark riots, they overtook the Italian and the Jewish communities, and by the mid 90s, the scene, it had transformed from a quaint little town to any other deteriorated ghetto in the United States.
Sources tell CBS 2 News it all started around 11 a.m. when the suspect was having an argument with a woman. Her friends jumped in to stop it, and then the male suspect left and got a gun and shot and killed another man. That's when police arrived on the scene, engaged with the suspect. Yeah,
and dude had a shotgun. Like, he put a 20-year-old down with a shotgun. That was the other man that he engaged with, and the police rolled up and he started bucking at them.
Who had a rifle. Shots went back and forth. Sources say one officer was hit and has non-life-threatening injuries. Another was grazed by a bullet. Elijah Irby was asleep after working a night shift. His girlfriend heard fighting in the street. Then,
trying to see if it was gunshots or it was like firecrackers. I'm like, it's past your life.
Nah, that's a Irvington. That's an Irvington accent, okay?
The next ones, it sounded like it was like the bullets were contacting things, like a pop, pop, like it was hitting things.
Vladimir was trying to get home from the library.
I was driving.
His name is Vladimir? Oh my goodness, I do not know these things. Oh, that's crazy.
I peered around a couple of times and was kind of thinking about my own safety. And in those situations, you're just trained to kind of drive away from the sound.
Sources tell us that the 38-year-old suspect was taken away from the scene in critical condition and has since passed away. The officer that was shot in the leg is said to be doing okay. Same with the officer that was grazed by a bullet. We're live in Irvington, New Jersey.
And the crazy part is that the elected class in Irvington, they're going to completely ignore it. Like, you can go check any of Mayor Voss, October Hudley. Rest in peace, David Lyons. He's a councilman that passed away very recently, as well as Sandra Jones. But they're going to ignore it. What they want to do is, because that's negativity, right? the fact that there is so much violence taking place is just negativity, and they don't want that. No. It doesn't fall in line with their agenda, and just, you know, making sure that everything looks nice and pretty. Now, me personally, I'm never one to blame any elected official or anyone else, like, outside of the person that pulls the trigger on any situation. So this isn't me placing blame there, but me, like, for probably about like 2-3 years there before I left again, I tried my best to have them, you know, let's focus on poverty, let's focus on creating a better environment, ending the drug war and all these policies. But that's not what they're paid to do. What they're paid to do is to pretend as if everything's okay, as if, you know, it all keeps working. This is all working. All we need is one more government program and we can fix these problems. And it's just like, that's not how it works. But there's another article that I want to talk about, because honestly, it's really the reason why I made this entire video. Because this don't make no sense. This comes to us from dailyvoice.com, their Essex County section. Hold on, where is it at? Irvington teen armed with guns stabbed to death during fight by the prosecutor. That's what the prosecutor says. This is written by Paul Milo. I'm sorry to laugh, but you brought a gun to this fight and you still got stabbed? I mean, that goes to show you the educational system is just terrible. The Essex County Prosecutor's Office is investigating the death of an 18-year-old in Irvington Wednesday night. Shaquan Kierson arrived at the 700 block of Springfield Avenue to confront a resident over a dispute, according to a preliminary investigation by authorities. Kierson fired a gun at the other person, who then stabbed Kierson. He was pronounced dead at the scene around 10 p.m. That is sad. No one has yet been charged, the prosecutor office said Thursday afternoon. Anyone with information, that's all just the snitch and stuff. But the deal is that you brought a gun. The other guy has a knife. You have a gun. Rock beats paper. You are... Oh my goodness. But yeah, this is where I'm from, guys. I mean, it's no different than the Baltimores. It's no different than the Detroits. The urban America is how it is for a very specific reason. The people who live in these places, there are like monarchies, right? There are little elected classes and families that, you know, they get good decent jobs. They definitely fill up the bureaucratic system. Whereas, okay, yeah, we'll just have you work at the Parks and Rec. We'll have you work over here, and, you know, they can make some money, take care of themselves. But outside of people, and that's the plantation, and not people who are on the plantation, they do well for themselves. It's the rest of the people who end up hurting, and they happily ignore. And that's been one of my main frustrations. Now, like I said, I no longer live in the township, but I'm still an elected official of the township, and in the county. And so this is just some of the more aggravating portions of this, because I see what's wrong. I know what's wrong. But getting the elected class, and it's not just Mayor Voss and the council reps and the freeholders. No. It's all of them. Getting them on board goes against what, you know, they're basically there to do. And that's to collect their check and make sure that they're okay. You know, and I never knock anybody for being okay, but it's coming at the expense of communities, of people who, you know, didn't ask for the violence, didn't ask for the environments to be as they are. They're just dealing with the situation that they are presented with. And damn it, something has to change. Anything has to change. So, with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, yeah, go ahead and do that too. I ain't scared of you. Sub, if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube, definitely, nah. BitChute, more likely, but still, nah. And speak. Let me know what do you think in the comments. I mean, this Irvington used to be a really nice place. I mean, you couldn't even walk around Irvington after 6 o'clock with sneakers on or you would be escorted out of the township. Back in, like, this happened way back in the day, and you have a lot of people who'd hear that and be like, oh my goodness, you should be able to wear whatever you want, and that's so unfair and that's racist. And it's like, no, they wanted to uphold a certain standard. And once they realized that, once the Italians and the Jews realized that standard was not going to be kept, they bounced. They dipped hard as hell. And since then, the township's been an ebb and flow of violence in decent times. Because they recently, it was like a year ago, 2 years ago, they had the lowest homicide rate in the township's history, and that's an ebb. And then the flow of now, I just brought you two stories, and trust me, there are more of violence erupting in the township. So yeah, I just want to keep an eye on my hometown. Where are you from? I think that's a good comment question. Where are you from? How does that work? How was your childhood? Where you came up at? What was encouraged there? Because until we get back to for the religious God's order and for the non-religious, just biological sense, I don't think that these types of issues and situations are going anywhere. So until the next one.